Grow what you eat. I'm Naima Latif with today's 10-minute tip on how to grow your own food.
Today we're going to take a look at this plant here. Interesting leaves, kind of almond shaped. Let's see what our picture this app shows us about this plant. And let's focus in on it and then take the photo. Nice clear picture. And it's processing. All right, and this is Daisy Fleabane, also known as Eastern Daisy Fleabane, Annual Fleabane, White Top, Tall Fleabane, Sweet Scabious, and healthy plant. So we're gonna save this one along with some others that we have saved for our possible consumption. But at least we know what it is, and we can start the research process to discover if it's something edible or medicinal.
Well, it's so easy to look up things and find out if this is something that you can actually use. Now, all you got to do is real simple. Just type it in. So what we've done is type in uses of Daisy Fleabane. And there you have it. Daisy Fleabane and Garon annuus and related species is a native flowering plant, often used for its medicinal, culinary, and environmental benefits. It acts as a natural astringent and diuretic to treat diarrhea, hemorrhages, and colds, while also serving as a vital pollinator, resource, and a repellent for pests. So you never know, this plant has all of these uses. Definitely another plant you don't want to just start spraying full of pesticides. So now let's look at its medicinal uses. Historically, Native American tribes and traditional herbalists used Daisy Fleabane for various ailments as an astringent and hemostatic, known to help stem bleeding, hemorrhages, piles, and treat diarrhea or dysentery. Well, let's not rush over that one. You know, we've seen a lot of the old movies where somebody's bleeding and some person who is well versed in how to handle wild herbs grabs something and stops the bleeding. Well, it could have been this very plant, Daisy Fleabane. Just think about how powerful this plant is in situations where you're nowhere near a hospital. The next thing, for respiratory care, it's used for colds, coughs, and throat inflammation, often as a tea or inhaled in smoke. Oh, okay. So if you set fire to it, you can actually inhale it and you can clear your nose. That's really helpful to know. As a topical treatment, it's used as a poultice for sores, earaches, and joint pain. Another vital thing to know, especially when you are out in nature and you've got a wound, you need to know. The next thing is uterine health, applied to treat menstrual issues and postpartum bleeding. Now, we've got to know that women had to know some things and use these plants so that they're not always in pain. You look at how many women struggle with menstrual cramps and all kinds of problems with childbearing, postpartum bleeding. Well, definitely you have to have knowledge so that you don't end up having something as natural as childbirth being a life threatening operation. It isn't. Mother Nature takes care of us so that we can heal. Now it says other uses. It's historically utilized to treat gout, epilepsy, and even aid eye health. Now, if you have been worried about your failing eyesight, this is something you need to pay attention to. Edible leaves, the young leaves can be consumed raw in salads and cooked, although they are quite hairy and are often preferred cooked. And as a tea, the leaves and flowers can be dried to create a tea. Now, the last thing is as a pollinator habitat, it provides essential pollen and nectar for bees, butterflies, and other pollinators. For pest control, the name Fleabane stems from its historical use as a dried herb or in mattresses to repel fleas and other insects. And also, you can use it for soil conservation. It's known for its resilience. It helps with soil integrity and acts as a pioneer species in disturbed areas. So, once again, we have discovered something growing right there in the yard. You want to be careful of what you see growing in your yard. Just think of all the things we've learned about so far.
So right now in this patch, we've got dandelion leaves, we've got white clover, and we've got daisy fleabane. If we hadn't done the research, we wouldn't recognize the value of what's growing here in the garden that we're going to start. But we can use these plants even before we begin planting.
Everything that grows in the ground has a purpose. And especially, we need to learn those things that are growing for our health. I'm Naima Latif. Grow what you eat. We'll see you next.